Let's just look at the markets. 222 points down for Sensex and about 50-60 points down for the Nifty. It's been the way it is for the last few days. Let's get in the management at Muthoot Capital Services. It's been one of the best performing NBFCs, at least in the last few days. It's up 40-odd%. Management came out with numbers which was very, very strong. So apart from numbers, can you just tell us that what has changed in the last 1 year and what's the outlook for the next 3 years? The growth rate that you are doing, you would continue to do that?
Most important thing, we have been supported by the robust two-wheeler sales in the country. And as you know, the sales projections for the current year is about 1.8 crores of units, that is 2016-17. We find that for the half year ended 30th September, the figures are 95 lakhs compared to 81 lakhs in the previous year, which means that the two-wheelers sales have increased by about 17%. This is one thing. And on the other hand, the festive season, as far as this quarter is concerned, the festive season has also helped us in increasing the numbers. Onam is a very important festival in Kerala, and we did a total disbursement of 273 crores this quarter, out of which 106 crores came in the month of September, which is a festive month.
Right. And how do you see that translating into growth in terms of your geography expansion right now? What's the expansion you're looking at? Are you looking at any tie-ups?
We are very prominent in the southern states of India, but we have started operations in the northern states also last year. We find that there is good number of loans coming from North India also, and this is a part of our growth plan for the year and the coming years also.
Right. So, if I just look at Muthoot Capital, what would be the capital right now? Would you need fundraising for such high growth to maintain such high growth? Most of the NBFCs do.
We had a tier 1 capital of 148 crores as on 31st March 2016. And currently we have a tier 2 capital of about 31 crores. Our capital adequacy ratio is about 17% as on the 30th of September. To pull on growth of, continue with the growth percentages that we are doing now, we will require some augment, we will require to augment the capital. But we can do that for the time being in the tier 2 space, because, as I mentioned, against 148 crores of tier 1, we are having only 31 crores of tier 2. We can pull on with augment in the tier 2 capital for the time being, which we are planning to do.
Right. But as of now, 30% growth, do you have sufficient capital to maintain that for the next 1 year?
That's what I'm telling. We may require augment in the capital, but that can be done in the tier 2 space. That can be done with augment in the tier 2 capital. We have sufficient.
Right. So what's happening with the cost of funding? Does that continue to decline? Is that the main, cost advantage that any NBFC is getting?
Yes, the cost of funds is coming down. In fact, even compared to last year, the cost, in fact, 2015-16, we achieved substantial reduction in the cost of funds. Previous year, 2014-15, it was 11.75%. In 2015-16, we brought it down to 10.89%. And it is continuing at that level, which is a substantial reduction compared to the previous years and a good rate for us.
Right. And do you expect it to come down further with the 10-year rate coming down more?
Yes, the rate of interest, RBI has announced some reduction in the base rates. So we are getting, we'll be getting advantage of that, and we will be seeing further reduction in the cost of funds in the current year itself.
Right. And once the cost of funds reduces, you expect the NIMs to increase immediately because you don't pass it on, or you would pass on the benefit as it's a very competitive market?
There is a reduction in the yield on advance also. In fact, if you compare over the years, the yield used to be 27.76% in the year 2014-15, which came down to about 24.67 as of date. But the net interest margin is comfortable. It is still remaining at 13.75 as on date.
Right. As far as the growth outlook is concerned, that continues to be strong, continues to be robust.
Definitely, we have already, last year we did a disbursement of 780 crores under two-wheeler financing. This year, up to the half year end, we did 506 crores. Compared to the figures for the first half year last year, it's about 40%, 41% increase. 41% increase. We are very hopeful. We are confident that we can continue the same trend of growth in the rest of the year. In fact, this was our plan for the year, improving the disbursement by about 40% over the last year, and we can very well achieve it.
So, say that, this growth would continue. Would it also be led by new product launches or new segments that you're looking to finance?
That's also on the cards. So far, we have been primarily active in the two-wheeler financing space. We are still a minor player. If you take the all India disbursement, I mean, we are still about 3.3 or 3.5% of 3.5% of the total disbursements pan India. Still, there is substantial scope for improving on the two-wheeler disbursement space. But we are also planning to add other products in the same retail area.
Right, with two-wheelers growing, is that quite important for you, or you also look at refinancing already used two-wheelers? So even if the two-wheeler market, the new two-wheeler market is not growing, you can still manage such growth?
For the time being, our product is limited to new vehicles. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the two-wheeler sales in the country has been increasing very well. I quoted the figures in the beginning itself. We have already, the sales has reached 95 lakhs units for the first half year, compared to only 81 lakhs units last year, which is an increase of 17%. This trend of growth is expected to continue in the two-wheeler sales field. And another feature is that about 32% of this, that's about 30 lakhs units are under scooters. Out of the two-wheelers, about 32% is already under scooters. And we have a pioneering product called Ladies Only, where we finance ladies under consumption rate of finance. And ladies mostly go for gearless scooters. That is also adding to our product business growth.
Right. Sir, thank you so much for taking out time for us and talking to us about the company and the future outlook at Muthoot Capital. Taking a break, coming back in 2 minutes, the management of Granules India will join us on the other side of